For more on the trial and its impact on Donald Trump and his political rival, Joe Biden, in the polls, we're joined now by Clifford Young in Washington. He's the president of Ipsos polling. Clifford, thanks so much for making time for us today.
It's great to be here, Jacqueline. Thank you.
In one of your recent polls, you looked into what a hypothetical conviction for Donald Trump would mean for people's voting intentions. So what did you find?
Well, once again, it's hypothetical, and so we'll only know when we know. But based upon our polling, it suggests that if he's convicted, Donald Trump maybe loses a point relative to Biden. If he's convicted in their jail time, maybe 2 or 3 points. So the point is, it's not good for Donald Trump. We don't know how much it will affect ultimately the outcome, but probably doesn't help him on the margins.
I thought it was interesting that, yes, it wasn't good for Donald Trump, but it didn't seem like it would benefit Biden either.
No, what happens is it shakes things loose a bit. And you have individuals that are lukewarm Trump going, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I might not vote for anyone. Maybe I sit this one out. So it's not a direct transfer. It's much more push me off this side. I might wait this one out. And
even if Donald Trump, if, again, hypothetical, he's convicted, and if he was serving jail time, I mean, there was still a large proportion of those voters that you polled who would still be voting for Trump, even if he was serving time. 29%?
Yes. I mean, ultimately, he has a very loyal base. That is, Donald Trump has a very loyal base. He's their champion. He's channeling their grievances, and they're going to stay with their man, their horse, right, up until the end. And so I think that's something we all have to understand, is that Donald Trump, independent of what happens in the courtroom, will still be a force at the election box.
I guess it might also depend. We were hearing from someone earlier, a former special counsel to the White House during Donald Trump's time there, who was talking about how Trump could frame this, if he were to be convicted. I mean, even if he isn't, but if he were to be convicted, to frame it in a way that, is consistent with the messaging that he's already been saying around this trial, that he's being persecuted. So, would it depend, the voter reaction potentially depend upon just how Trump manages to frame this situation coming out of it?
Whether he's convicted or he isn't convicted, he'll still frame this as an effort by the other side to take him out. A vast majority, 80% or more of Republicans believe it's politically motivated. So I assume, or am assuming, that he will frame it exactly the way that you detailed it, that they're going after him and it's politically motivated.
Have you noticed any changes in voters' intentions, from January to now? And I'm thinking particularly in the weeks that have involved this hush money trial.
No, the numbers have been fairly steady. Now, Biden's improved a bit. Biden's is lackluster at best when it comes to the numbers. No, but it's been pretty much flatlined over the course of this year, with Trump with an advantage overall, in significant advantages in some of the key swing states.
Do you also have a sense of just how tuned in Americans are to this trial? I mean, I know we follow it very closely in the media, but how closely is the kind of average American following it?
It's background noise. It's something that those of us in the Beltway or politically adjacent places are paying attention and are interested in. The average American is worried about making ends meet, is worried about sending their kids to a good school, about taking care of their health, et cetera. Those more domestic bread and butter issues are really what matter to the average American.
So when you're thinking about the overall voter sentiment right now, more focused on some of those issues, I suppose, that you're just outlining there, Clifford.
Yeah, exactly. The number one issue is the economy, inflation. There's a cluster of issues that are important, but that's the most important one right now. And really, Americans are worried about making ends meet. High price levels have persisted. They're angry, frustrated about that. They're taking that out on Biden, and Trump is benefiting from it.
Okay, well, we'll see how perhaps the results of this particular case may shake things up a little bit. But Clifford, thanks so much for your thoughts today and some of the results of your recent polling. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
That's Clifford Young. He's the president of Ipsos Polling and Societal Trends, and we reached him in Washington, D.C.